Okay, let's do it again. The section that I'm covering in the Course in Miracles today, and by the way, those of you who are new to the Course in Miracles class that I'm doing, I just want to remind you that the only guidelines to the Course in Miracles class that I do is that you need not believe it. And the people who've been coming for a while, they'll validate that. Yeah. You need not accept it. You need not welcome it. Some of the stuff you hear is going to be hard to believe. You might say, that's hard to believe. Mm-hmm. Some of the things I'd say from the Course in Miracles might be startling. The Course itself says you're not asked to judge or analyze the ideas at all. You can, but that's not what you're asked to do. That if you use it, that you'll see that it's true. So to me, that's the best way to see if anything is true. Test it out and see what happens. So please relax and let go of any thoughts, if you should happen to have any, that anyone's trying to convert you, change you, get you to do anything, and other than realize it's no accident that we're all together today. Which means that for whatever reason, this is a group of people that need to be together to hear what's being said. So what I would invite you to do is to be on the lookout for your particular sentence that gives you the reason why you showed up today. That would be your higher self communicating with you. Okay, so listen to what you feel lighter when you hear, and what you feel heavier, what you feel resistance to, what you feel open to. The section that I'm teaching out of is called the Lessons of the Holy Spirit. If you have a problem with the terminology, the Christian terminology, you can just use whatever you want to. We're just talking about love or fear. And it talks about that the part of you that loves you, the part of you that created you, the part of you that's in touch with what created you, God, if you will, that there are three basic lessons that we're being taught. And that every situation that we're going through has the purpose of eventually getting us to do one very important thing, which is to turn within and learn how to create that allow that communication between you and Source to happen. So whether people realize it or not, everyone's going to get to the point where they realize they can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. And they can't do it on their own, and they don't know everything, and that they want to get in touch with something that's greater than their own egos. Some people are already at that point because they've gone through enough in their life to make them go, okay, I'm ready to try to tap into something greater than my own personal perspectives of things. And then there's some people who still need a few more opportunities to try their plan and then go over the cliff. And that's okay, because you're going to be loved in the way it goes. So that's no problems. If you have another plan that you're ready to try to make you happy, then go right ahead. It's a beautiful thing to give it a good shot. Okay? Because basically everybody in here just wants to be happy. If that's right. And what we are joined on is the goal, and what we're divided on is the means. Right? Everybody wants to be happy, but what we all clash with each other on is the way that we choose to go about doing it. Right? So this is just another way for us to get to where we are going. And the Course in Miracles teaches that there's a plan that a part of you called the ego, which is nothing but the part of the mind that thinks it's separate, the part of the mind that's frightened, the part of the mind that thinks it's on its own, the part of the mind that thinks it's a body, the part of the mind that thinks it has a social security number. That part of the mind, the Course calls the ego. And the part of us that doesn't know what real happiness is, it says that it has only one instruction. And that one instruction is, if this were different, I would be happy. If this were different, I would be saved. So the part of us that doesn't believe we deserve complete joy and satisfaction, that part of us is constantly trying to tell us that another person will serve better, another circumstance will serve better, something outside of myself. If something were different, then I'd be saved, I'd be happy. So the mind is constantly trying to come up with everything other than itself that needs to change. Okay, so the mind is like, oh, it's my mama, it's my sister, it's my boss, it's the weather, it's my car, it's my house, it's my mate. It's like everybody's using their mind to come up with everything that needs to change but their own friggin' mind. Yeah. Right? So that's what keeps the problem going, because as soon as you separate yourself from the problem, it can't be solved. Because it dawned on me one day that I am the common denominator in every experience that I've ever had. So it's a possibility it might have something to do with me. It's a radical concept, but it might have something to do with me. And so the Course is saying that lesson number 1, the first lesson that Spirit is teaching us is to give all to all. And so, when it says to give all to all, the Course says it's talking about to have appreciation, give full appreciation, to have appreciation. Because it's full appreciation that we're supposed to be given to all. So the first thing that we're learning is gratitude. That's the first lesson that's coming down. So the Course in Miracles says, so whenever you're upset about something, the first thing to do, as quickly as you can, is to go to a thought of gratitude. That's not what the average person does. When they get upset, the first place their mind goes is who to blame. Who else outside of me is responsible for this? What needs to change in order for me to be happy? It doesn't go to, boy, I'm really grateful for the fact that I'm sitting here with you right now, and that this is a beautiful day, and there's some cool people, and nobody's shooting me, and I tell you, there's a lot of brothers and sisters not having the kind of moment we having right now. Okay, so it's already proof you love yourself more than you think you do, because you created a reality where you're so safe you can sit around and analyze things. Isn't that something? We're so safe that we can sit around and figure our problems out. So that proves right there that we're way ahead of the game. Okay, so I want to congratulate you for being so peaceful that you got time to figure things out. You ought to be just so filtered. And also understand that your attempt to analyze everything and break it down so that you can understand it better is, according to the Course in Miracles, that's your attempt to destroy the meaning of everything that you know. Okay, but besides that, it's a cool plan. Okay. Then it goes on to say the next lesson is to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. And in that section, it talks about good teachers. And the Course in Miracles says a good teacher is a good demonstrator. So a teacher is a demonstrator. A teacher isn't someone that's just talking. A teacher is someone that's demonstrating. So if you're going to be a good teacher, whether that's to your partner, to your child, to your co-workers, to anybody in your experience, if you want to be a good teacher, then the first thing it says that you should realize, and I'm doing a quick review to catch up with where we are, it says the first thing you should realize is that you don't begin at a level of trying to really bring about a fundamental change. Like, in other words, I'm not going to begin at the level of trying to get everybody in here to understand the concepts of the Course in Miracles. Right. No. A good teacher wants a basic fundamental change to last, because only a basic fundamental change will last. So you want a mental change in anybody that lasts. So the first and foremost goal that a teacher has is to strengthen the person's motivation to change themselves. So if I'm going to be a good teacher to my child, then what I'm doing is trying to motivate my child to want to change themselves or to be peaceful themselves. Like, if I'm doing this right, then you should be motivated to realize that you really truly want to be happy, and you want to let go of everything that blocks that, and you know you really deserve to be happy because you're an innocent, loving child of God. And so you walk out of the door being motivated to change yourself, rather than to think because you're sitting here, I'm going to change you. Okay, so a good teacher, a good motivator, is only trying to strengthen, a good teacher is just trying to strengthen the person's motivation to change themselves. So my only goal is to strengthen the student's motivation to change themselves. And then it says the only goal is to also strengthen the person's motivation to change. If you want to guarantee a change, all you have to do is strengthen the person's motivation to change. If you want to guarantee a change, you want your boyfriend to change, you need to strengthen your boyfriend's motivation to change. You can't change it. He can't change you. But what you can do is you can inspire me to want to be more loving to you. You can inspire me to want to change my mind about it, but you can't change my mind. As a matter of fact, the Course in Miracles teaches that your mind can't change. And we already know that. I love it when he says that. It says your mind was created by God. Your mind is pure love. It's infinitely intelligent. It's everlasting. It's eternal. It's powerful. It operates according to certain spiritual laws that we can't change. And so you can't change how cool you are. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't change how complete and whole and perfect and beautiful you are. All you can do is change your perception of you. You cannot see yourself that way. But you can't change the fact that you are lovable, and you are loved, and you are powerful, and you deserve happiness.
Yes.
Sorry, you're not sinful, you're not guilty, you ain't going to hell, you in hell. I'm just trying to break it to you. You're in a place where anything can seem to happen to you at any time. That's hell. If you're in fear about one thing or another, the Course says all the time, fear is hell. Not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, not knowing if you really got that real love that's going to always be there, not knowing whether or not you're going to be able to pay your bills, not being able to tell whether or not you're going to get rid of the cellulite. That's hell. Wondering if when that special moment comes, I won't be ready. That's hell. I love that commercial. You know, they cutting the grass, that finger touch. You never know when that special moment. You know, you better get some C. Alice or whatever. And not knowing if that's going to happen, a man will tell you. That's hell. That's hell. Right. So we already are trying to change our mind, and we're already ready to transform fear into love. We're ready to go from lack to abundance. We're ready to go from sickness to health. We're ready to go from attack to peace. We're ready to go from depression to joy. We already know what that feels like. Are we ready to go somewhere else, y'all? Yeah. Okay. And so the Course in Miracles says if you want to guarantee a change, all you have to do is strengthen the person's motivation to change themselves. The mind is basic. Everything rests in the mind. Then it went on to say if you're in conflict between two opposing ways of thinking, and the only way to get out of a conflict is to choose one way of thinking and let the other one go. So in other words, you don't get out of fear and you don't get out of conflict towards the Course until you make a decision. That conflict and fear is a result of not making a decision, not the physical circumstance that you're going through, but it's really coming from not making any kind of decisions about the situation that you're going through. So if you're in conflict right now in any area of your life, just remind yourself that what you are experiencing right now is a conflict between two opposing thought systems. It says the answer is clear to choose one and relinquish the other. And so if you are trying to live two different thought systems at the same time, the Course says it's impossible for you to have peace of mind. You know, if I'm one with you, but I'm separate from you. I'm peaceful and I'm upset. I'm cute and I'm ugly. I'm powerful and I'm weak. I create my reality. I'm a victim of everything that goes on around me. If I got two different ways of looking at things and I'm trying to think both of them at the same time, I will never have peace. I will have fluctuation. I'll be going back and forth between the two, but that is not peace. Okay? So one of the first things that a person has to do if they're really ready to go to the next level, which you don't have to believe, is they have to live by their truth. You have to live by your truth. You can't study your truth and then live by the world. You can't study the truth and then live like everybody else looks at it and think you're going to get a difference. That's what the Course in Miracles told me. So I said, oh, that kind of explains a lot of the conflict that I have had. And that I've been, so far I've been disobeying every law piece that happens. You know, then I'm wondering why I'm upset, right? Okay, then it goes on to say we're going to do a review. He says the first step is to get rid of the concept of getting. Let go of the idea of getting. The loving mind's first lesson is to have appreciation, give full appreciation to everyone, to have, give all to all. Giving all to all, this idea is apt to increase your conflict temporarily. Let's clarify this more. Right now, you don't see that having it is the same as being it. Right now, you don't see that having it is the same as being it. And if you want to have a person, for instance, you have to see yourself as being that person. It has to be you for you to have it, to truly have it. You don't see that having it means to be it. Until you see that you have to be it to have it, it would seem like having something is the opposite of giving it away. If I want to have peace, I have to be peaceful. If I want to have love, I have to be loving. If I want to have freedom, I have to give freedom. Every single solitary friggin' thing that I want, I have to give it in order to have it. I have to be it in order to have it. And what I used to do is always look for people to show up in my life who had qualities opposite to mine, who would somehow fulfill what was missing in me, who would somehow fill up the missing parts. But the truth is, I'm going to always have what I am, so I don't know how to break it to you, but everybody around you is just like you. So y'all told me a lot about the people you were around. Nobody was exactly ecstatically happy about that idea. If you were surrounded by love, you would have been, all right, all right. Everybody around me is like me. That's the best news I ever heard. Notice that was not anybody's response whatsoever. You could have heard crickets. You know.
I'm thrilled.
Oh, good. Are you thrilled? How many thrilled people in the house?
I'm thrilled.
Oh, good. Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so.
Are you thrilled?
Am I thrilled?
Okay.
I'm not thrilled with me, so I can't be thrilled with you.
Good answer.
I'm working through my own stuff right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not thrilled with nobody right now. To be absolutely honest, I ain't thrilled with nobody. Doesn't have nothing to do with the people though.
Yeah.
You can be as cool as you want to be. You can be the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm just not thrilled with you. And I'm not thrilled with you because I'm not thrilled with myself, and I'm not thrilled with you because you're not acting out my script, and I'm not acting out my script, and so I'm not thrilled because whenever I'm upset, it's just because something or someone's not acting out my script. They're not acting out my fantasies. They're not doing what I want them to do. They're not fulfilling the role that I assigned to them in my dream of what my life was meant to be. Because I assign roles to everybody in my life as soon as I come up with a fantasy, and then whoever doesn't do my fantasy, I see them as being non-supportive. Now, I didn't ask them if they even wanted to. I totally got grievances against them because they're not doing it though. But you're just supposed to know what pleases me. You know, you're just supposed to know. You know? So I'm still doing the old plan. The plan being if something or somebody else outside of me changed, then I would be happy. That's the old plan. That's the one I'm trying to let go of. So every time I feel not thrilled, I immediately tell myself, what is it within me that needs to be changed? What is it in my mind that needs to change? What is it I need to see differently so that I can let go of whatever it is that keeps me from feeling the thrill that I am, because I am a thriller.
Yes,
I'll bet you are.
I am a thriller. You catch me when I'm thrilled, I guarantee you I will thrill you.
Absolutely.
You will be one thrilled woman sitting
I'll
over there.
bet I
No
would.
doubt you will.
And it wouldn't take that much.
That's what, thank you. But that's how you can tell it's in divine order. It won't take that much.
That's right. It's
The thing, the stuff that's not in divine order is what you gotta hustle, work for, and seduce. I gave up seducing women years ago. I always ended up regretting who I seduced and didn't look like I seduced them. It was like, that was a stupid move. Anybody you guys to seduce, something is wrong.
Yeah. Especially when the lights come on.
You know. You know. So if I want to have thrilling, I have to be thrilling. If I want passion, I have to be passionate. If I want faith, I have to. I'm going to keep on saying this. Why? Because I need to remember it. I need to remember it for myself. So that's why I'm sharing this. Is because sharing it is how you have it. Yeah. Sharing it. See, an idea is the one thing that you can share that when you give it away, you don't lose it. You share an idea, you keep the idea, now the other person has the idea if they choose to accept it, and now the idea is larger. So anything that's real, you always increase it by sharing it. And anything that's not real is always something that's just for you only.
Wow.
Tell me one thing that's just for you that will last. That's just for you. Tell me one thing that's just for you and just yours that will last.
Can't think of a thing.
Because there's no such thing.
Right.
Everything that's real is equally shared. Everything that's real, everyone can partake of it. Everything that's real is equally available to everyone. Love that is real is inclusive. Love that is unreal is exclusive. But it's through exclusive love that you can come to realize what real love is. It can be the starting point for you educating yourself to what love is. In other words, if you could just treat one person right, that would be a good place to start. And the universe loves you so much and wants to make sure that a lot of people didn't suffer until we learn what love is so it created monogamy. That way the suffering can be limited to only one person. It's the most humane thing that's ever occurred to the human race. We'll just take you off the market until you get sane. Because love includes everyone. Love doesn't leave out anyone. Now, something that you do through your body, you might pick and choose those that you experience it through. So love is not sex. Okay, sex becomes another way that you can symbolize. Well, actually, sex just symbolizes the highest idea of all, which is the idea of joining. It's so simple, we overlook it. It's just symbolic of the idea that at our truest nature, all we really want to do is join.
What pleasure? What pleasure?
Well, it depends on how much innocence you feel about it. Sex is neutral. The way you feel about it never will be.
Right.
So sex in and of itself is, if you look at it objectively, it's really nothing's happening.
Right.
I mean, if you really got out of your romantic notions about it for a minute, you realize nothing's really happening. It's body parts rubbing in various ways. I could just easily be doing that and say it's sex. There's some societies that this would be, oh my God! Did he have on a condom? So it's just body parts rubbing, and then you determine that it means that we are in love forever, or I better hurry up and run to the doctor. You don't know what it is. I always talk to adults like adults. So if that offends anybody, I'm the wrong teacher for you. I don't teach at an 11-year-old level. Okay? Because I get so sick of going to classes where I'm talked to like I'm a child. I just talk the way people talk.
Yeah.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to do it anyway, but I Why? Because I want to know who can love me for my authentic self. And I will never know that if I'm being anything other than myself as I sit up here in front of you. The worst thing that can happen is a person who couldn't appreciate me as I am will leave and not come back, which isn't a loss to me. I've had sometimes people call me and say, well, if you just didn't play music, I would come. And I'm like, well, thank you for not wanting to come back. That's the most loving thing you could do. What could be worse than you coming here, not wanting to be here, shooting out negative energy to me? I'm glad you won't come back. That's a beautiful thing. Because I used to be one of these people where I thought it was a loss when I was attacking people and I decided not to be around them. And I realized they were so glad to see me go. And some of y'all feel the same way about people y'all know. It's like they think that y'all's feelings supposed to be hurt. And you're like going, now we can have some fun. I'm so glad that person left. But you always usually have one person that represents the collective ego of everyone. Have you ever noticed that? Like it can be a group of you all that want to do something, and there's usually one person that don't want to cooperate. Have you ever noticed that in a situation like that person is representing the collective fear of the whole group about doing that. So if you ever really want to have an incredible experience in any type of group experience, try to go with what I call if it's 5 people, it's the 500% solution. If it's 3 people, it's the 300% solution. If it's 10 people, that means everybody's got to 100% want to do what y'all want to do together. Or else you don't do it. Think of something else. If you want a group experience where everyone's happy, you see what I'm saying? So you always want to go for the solution that everyone's feeling peaceful and safe in that situation and circumstance. You can all have a good time. Because actually, if just one person doesn't want to and they're there, it's not going to create the 100% solution for everybody there anyway. And there's always something that everybody could do that they feel safe if they really want to join. So anyway, so as it says, so the next lesson it says is to have peace, teach peace, to learn peace. Okay, so do you know that you need to choose one way of believing, let go of the old way of believing, believe the new beliefs. Don't believe the old beliefs. Accept the new beliefs as true. Side with the new beliefs. Stop siding with the old beliefs. No longer accept the old beliefs as true. So that means if the Course is teaching me that I am responsible for what I feel, and what I feel is coming from the meanings and interpretations that I'm giving to everything around me, and that's determining my feelings, then every time I have a feeling, then I'm going to live by my new belief, which is that feeling is coming from something that I'm telling myself and some interpretation that I'm giving to this moment, and that's what's making me feel this way and not the other person. Not now. Also, so now that's my new belief. The old belief was that you made me mad. My new belief is I made me mad. My old belief was you make me feel guilty. My new belief is I make me feel guilty. My old belief is you're responsible for what I'm going through. My new belief is I'm the creator of my experience. I'm responsible for what I'm going through. All right? So how do I make that real? I live by that. So that means when I do get upset, that I say, as soon as I can, I'm making myself feel this way. Now I'm living by my belief. Now, how do I make it really, really real? Well, the way that you make it really, really, really real is you also apply it to everybody around you, whether they know it or not. So not only am I determining how I feel by the meanings that I give things, so are you, so are you, so are you, so are you. Now, I don't have to mention that to you. I don't have to discuss that with you. I don't even have to ask you if you believe that. But if it's the truth, it applies to all of us equally. And ignorance doesn't make any difference about the use of the law. Right. You're using the law whether you are aware that you're using the law or not. As a matter of fact, your pain is coming from not being aware of the law or that you're using the law. So I'm going to empower me, but guess what? I'm going to also empower you also. This relationship that I'm in right now, wow. If I want to have peace in this relationship, I've got to teach peace to learn peace in this relationship. So that means if I want to have peace in this relationship, I have to demonstrate peace to learn peace in this relationship. So if I want to have peace in this relationship, then I've got to stop attacking, I've got to stop projecting, and I've got to stop blaming first. Because to have it, I have to demonstrate it in order to perceive it and to learn it. So I'm not going to perceive it until I demonstrate it. I see it as I demonstrate it. I see it as I teach it. So doesn't that explain why you may not be seeing as much peace, joy, and love as you'd like to see in your experience? Yeah. If you're not demonstrating it, you can't learn it. If you don't learn it, you can't perceive it, because everything you perceive is what you learned. Because perception is learning. Everything you see, you learn to see it that way. Woo! One day, it'll hit you the power of that statement. Because what you just heard was the key to your happiness every single day that you walk this earth. Yeah. I'll say it again. The way that you see something is that you learn to see it that way. So your perception is based on your learning, and if your learning was based on sin, guilt, separation, depression, insecurity, fear, no acknowledgement, no love, and that's what you learned, then you're going to perceive it And then those who are offering you love and nurturing and caring and passion and truth, you will not see them. It will be as if they don't even exist, because you can only perceive what you've learned. And if you've learned not to value yourself, or you've learned that you're not enough, you're on the lookout for those who validate that idea about you, and your perceptions are going to go out in the world like little messengers, and they're going to locate everybody that matches your learning and belief about yourself, and they're going to bring that situation and circumstance and person right back into your perception. And you'll be convinced that that's the way the world is, and you'll be convinced that that's the way your world is. Because you have so much validation, because you forget that your perception is a lovely liar. It just witnesses back to you your own beliefs and not necessarily the truth. You're seeing what you believe, not necessarily the truth. Now, how can I tell the truth from what's not true?
How you feel.
That one way you can tell for you what's true and not true, of course, is by how you feel. Another characteristic of truth is that it doesn't change. You can always depend on it. It always is there. It always expands. Like, for instance, if the way we feel is based on the meanings we give things, if that's the truth, then it applies to everyone. Whether or not you like lemon cake, the fact that I like lemon cake may not be true for everyone. The fact that we're all choosing how we feel right now, that's true for all of us, whether we realize it or not. So if it's a truth, that applies to everyone equally. If it's not the truth, it's specific, and it only applies in certain situations and circumstances with certain people under certain conditions. So a specific thing is always an illusion. Anything that has a specific purpose, that it can be used in every situation, is never eternal. And there's no such thing as an eternal mic, or an eternal book, or an eternal eyeglass, or an eternal body in the form that the body is. So the way you can tell what's real from what's not real is what's real is only loving, and what's real cannot be destroyed, and what's real expands, and what's real is permanent. And anything that's not love, that's not truth, that's not real, is guaranteed by its very nature to change and not last. And that is the blessing of this world, is that all things in it can change. So therefore, whatever situation or perception that you think you're in right now can improve for the better.
Always.
Always.
All right.
I can see that's right up there with the other happy stuff that I said. Okay. I know, I'm like that too. Sometimes when I hear things for the first time that I really haven't heard, that it does kind of stun you for a minute to be able to see. It's a decision that we've got to make. Happiness is a decision that you have to make. Happiness is a decision you have to make. Happiness is a decision you have to make. Your happiness is a decision you have to make. Your happiness is a decision you have to make. And to demonstrate happiness, you have to demonstrate happiness to learn it. You have to demonstrate love to have it. To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. Is that right?
Yes.
Isn't that what we just heard? To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. So whenever your mind is in conflict, the Court says it means you have contradicting motivation. Since you have conflict, I love that. Since you have conflict in motivation to do this, you don't learn the lessons consistently yet, because your motivation for your own happiness is not consistent yet. Sometimes even you think you deserve to suffer, and you feel guilty, and you think you deserve to be punished. So even your own desire for peace is not consistent for you. So therefore you have some moments that are peaceful and some moments that are full of conflict and fear, and they're just reflecting your own conflicting motivation for you. Change your mind about you, the world changes its mind about you. You think you deserve to be punished, the world says, okay, here's a relationship that'll be punishment. Here's a financial situation that'll be punishment. Here's a health situation that will be punishment. As soon as I think I deserve anything other than love as a child of God, that's a request for some other experience other than love, it shows up, and then I blame someone else for it, not realizing that it's nothing but a reflection of my own subconscious desire for me to be punished for some reason because I'm feeling guilty about something. So wherever you're hurting at right now, I got an answer for you. You're innocent. You may be making a mistake in your perception, but you're innocent. You don't deserve to suffer. You're innocent. It's just a learning situation. You're innocent. It's just a lesson God would have you learn. You're innocent. You deserve to be happy. It's okay to be lovingly corrected. Punishment is not correction. So whatever area of your life that you're miserable in right now, it means you are torn between two different ways of thinking. Maybe two different ways of thinking about yourself. Maybe two different ways of thinking about that situation. Want to get out of conflict? Choose one way and let the other one go right now. And don't worry if your emotional state doesn't change immediately just because you've made the decision to go in a new direction. You go to the doctor with a sore throat, they can give you a shot, but you don't immediately feel the sore throat go away even though you know the healing has been affected as you take it. You understand what I'm saying? So you're making a decision for your happiness today. If that is what the universe has been waiting for you to do. And the once you make a decision about the direction you want to go in and you're not wimpy about it, Raj, and you really mean it and you really stick with it and you don't let anybody or anything change your mind about the direction of happiness and peace you want to go in, then you'll be like a laser beam in your experience and you'll find everything falling into place to allow you to manifest your goal, because the Course in Miracles teaches your goal creates the circumstances that allows your goal to manifest. The goal itself will create the people, the circumstances, and the decisions that are necessary in order for you to have that purpose manifested. So your goal and your purpose is the most important thing that you can get sure about, because it's your goal and your purpose that's going to determine the outcome, and you're worried about the future. The future is the outcome. The outcome is going to be a reflection of your purpose. So if you know your purpose, you know how it's going to turn out. In the fear of what's going to happen in the future. If my goal is to be loving now, what's going to happen in my future, even if I have to go through some learning situations to get there, is more love. Because love is going to draw to me the lessons and the people and the circumstances that allow me to learn what it really is. But if I'm one of these people that go, all I know is what I don't want, I don't know what I do want. But when you don't know what you want, then anything can happen to you. So if you're one of these people that don't know anything except what you don't want, that's why you experience what you don't want. Because what you don't want is something you project because you don't want it, so you project it and then you meet it because you're the one that threw it in front of you on your own path.
Yes.
You know, it's like me saying, I don't want this paper. And then I walk up on it again. Then I go, I don't want this paper. And then I walk up on it again. And I don't want this paper. Okay? I want the microphone. Then I don't even focus on the paper. Because I have a goal. So if you're all confused and you don't know what to do and you're miserable, you know, first of all, admit you're miserable.
Right.
Say, I feel miserable and not happy. Because it's not until I'm honest with myself, not afraid of any of my feelings, which means the so-called feelings of anger, the so-called feelings of I'm not okay. The minute I make all my feelings okay, then my feelings are not in conflict. They're in conflict because I'm judging some as the good feeling and the bad feeling and the all right feeling and the not. That my feelings are just my feelings. And who I am behind my feelings, which is the Holy Child of God, an infinite being of love, that is not changed by my opinion of myself or anybody else's. So you feel the feeling, admit you feel the feeling, and remember who you are behind the feeling, and you will transcend the feeling.
That's good.
But if you spend all your time judging the feeling, then you're going to keep creating the feeling over and over again until you learn to stop judging it. So it'll keep coming back.
Wow. Thank you.
So stop seeing you, oh, I feel angry, so that means I'm really a bad person. No, that's the feeling that was evoked in this present moment. Who are you beyond that feeling is what you need to forget. You need to remember, because you're angry because you've forgotten the truth. What do you mean I'm angry because I've forgotten the truth? Well, the truth is you're angry because you don't realize that you're the one that's making yourself feel this way. You're angry and not able to let go of it because you think somebody else is causing it, which keeps you from being able to let it go because you have the power to let it go. How do I let it go? Well, the first thing you do is you recognize the truth. Well, what's the truth? The anger is coming from something or someone that's acting out my script. The anger is coming from my script and not from the person. Whoa. So what do? I let go of my script, or I see my anger as a call to remember the truth and a call to remember that I'm loved, and the call to remember that my anger is just a feeling. And it's just like a cloud. It's going to move on. Look at your feelings as clouds. And you might be having a particular cloudy day today, but you know the sun is on the other side of those clouds. You know that. But right now, that's what I love about flying. When they do that, when you go up in the air, and it's like you leave on, it's raining and it's cloudy, and then all of a sudden you watch yourself go through the clouds, and it's sun shining up there where you are. And then below you, you know that people did it with a lot of storm and a lot of rain. So you got to remember, God is the sun, Spirit is the sun, love is the sun. You are the son, the S-U-N of God.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have a cloud going on right now. Well, what would be a conscious being? A conscious being would be the being that even though it's cloudy and raining, they are aware that the sun is on the other side. So knowledge, which is that the sun is on the other side of the cloud, is not perception. Because you can know it and not see it. I don't see the sun, but I know the sun is there. That's where you got to live your life. You got to know you're innocent, know you're not alone, know that you're connected to source, even though sometimes you're dealing with situations that look like the cloud is so real that it's got you all upset, and to realize that the only reason why you're so freaking upset is because you got so close to the truth of your authentic self that you scared the hell out of yourself, and so now you're creating something to make you forget all the truth you were just about to tap into. All that love that was coming at you, you became afraid of it. So now you created something to distract that. So whatever you're miserable about, it just means you got too close to the goodness that's you in some area in your life. You got too close to the power that you have, and your old self is trying to convince you that what your new self is trying to do is a crock of crap. So looked at correctly, your upset could be used to empower you, because you could go, wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is just a trick to make me forget that I'm a holy child of God. This is a trick to make me forget that I'm the creator of my experience along with my creator. This is just a trick to make me think I can't have joy in my life. That relationship was just a trick to make me think I couldn't have loving relationship. That situation over, that lack is just a trick to make me think I can't have abundance. The Course in Miracles says abundance is your natural state. You'll have it quick if you don't see it as no big deal. Don't make it special. It's not special for you to be provided abundantly by the universe that loves you. That's not special. The fact that you see it as special means you're telling yourself that it's something you have to earn, or something that can only come every now and then, which is the nature of a special thought. It can't happen all the time. That's why it's a special day. So one day out of a year, people can acknowledge my birthday. It's my special day. You want to be acknowledged the way you acknowledge on your birthday as ordinary. Like every day of your life is like your birthday. And if you see it as ordinary, your mind doesn't rebel against ordinariness. It's used to it. So ordinary stuff, when something really good happens to me, I go, oh my God, thank you for that on my mind. Because a little person may not understand where I'm coming from if I said you just gave me an ordinary present. So I'm totally grateful, but I want to see it as natural for me to receive wonderful things in my life, is what I'm saying. And then your mind already goes, okay, that's ordinary, no big deal, we can let him have that, that's ordinary. And then when something doesn't go good, when something doesn't go right, as I perceive it, or I'm not feeling the love, then I say, that's a special day. I had a special day today. That's what I tell my mind. Oh, my mind says, oh, that's special. That means that's not going to happen all the time. That's special. So your unhappiness is not going to happen all the time because you had a special day of unhappiness. Oh, you had a special day of thinking you were broke. So that's not going to happen all the time because anything that's special doesn't happen all the time. That is the nature of special. So see what you're upset about right now as your special day.
Yes.
And when it's going great and you're surrounded by incredible beings like you're surrounded right now, then you're going to say, this is an ordinary experience. This is the way it should be for me. I should be in a room full of kind, loving people that treat me right. The fact that we think it's something that's unusual is our first hint that something is going awry. The fact that we can sit up and go, oh my God, you actually met a really nice person who had integrity. Something's wrong when we see that as special. Oh, you was with a person who was really trustworthy? Girl, I can't believe that. Something is wrong if you're in a world where loving people is seen as special and everybody being untrustworthy is seen as the normal thing. And don't go by what the world says. Like the world says, well, if if you open like that, people gonna take advantage of you. No. The awareness means aware. Okay? If you are an aware person, no one can hurt you.
Right.
Because first of all, no one can hurt you if you're an aware person. If you're an aware person, you know when you feel safe and when you're not. If you're an aware person, you know. So awareness trumps fear as guidance. I would much rather not walk out in front of a car because I'm aware of what it would do to my body than to stand on the curb afraid of cars. So everything we think fear can give us, awareness can give us without the fear.
Awareness trumps fear. Is that what you
Awareness,
said?
that's why the most important thing we can do is have true perception. And true perception is just perception that is not blocked by false ideas that are not true. So where do you know where you have false ideas that are not true? It's where you're in fear and pain and separation and guilt and lack. Whatever area of your life that you're feeling that in, that's the area where you are lying and deceiving yourself the most. Tell me where your pain is, I'll tell you where your deception is the strongest. Tell me what the thing you're most upset about, and I'll tell you the thing you're fooling yourself the most about. Stop associating correct perception with misery. You're not angry and upset and seeing nothing correctly. You're not angry and upset and seeing nothing. Now, you don't have to believe any of this. You don't have to accept any of this. You don't have to welcome any of this. Remember, that was the rule.
Yeah.
Right? That was the rule. So remember, everything rests in the mind. If there's any change you want to see around you right now, that change will come from a change of motivation. A change of motivation is a change of mind. If there's any change you like to see in a person around you, what you want to remember is I want to strengthen their motivation for change. How do I do that? I do that by demonstrating and being that which I would like to receive from them or anyone. Now, don't forget, if they don't do it, somebody will. If they don't do it, somebody will. Nothing that you want can only come through one person. There's nothing you need that can only come through one person. You may choose for it to come through one person, but that is not the universal truth. The universal truth is that love will come to you through whoever and whatever will allow it and who you will allow it to come through. So you never have to be lonely. You never have to do without companionship, joy, anything you want. It's available to you. Except when you've decided it should come through a form that it shouldn't come through for you now. That's the only reason why you're being denied anything you want right now. The courts would say you've decided on the form of what you want. So you've lost the understanding of its purpose. As soon as I decide on the form of what I want, he says, I've lost my understanding of the purpose. I want to experience love and peace and joy. But if I say to myself, it's got to come through her, and she doesn't want to give it to me, based on the restraining order. And I'm not going to go, that's a challenge. I'm going to really see if I can get, you know what I'm saying? Then that means I've lost the understanding of my purpose. Earl, is your purpose to have love and peace and joy? Or is your purpose to have her? So once I decide on the form of what I want, I've lost the understanding of the purpose. If my purpose is love, I'm saying to Spirit, God, to universe, I am willing to accept real love through whatever form it's available to come through in this moment, because this moment is the only time there is. And if I'm going to experience it, it has to be in the present. It would be wonderful if it came through her, if that was my preference, but I'm not going to be so unconscious that I'm going to deny myself love unless it comes through her. That's unconsciousness. Because that's denying myself what could come to me right now. But if, let's say I have decided it should be her, and I'm not going to give up on that because, my God, look at her. Then I have to be willing to deal with everything that I go through as a result of making that decision and take responsibility for it. And then I'll still have peace. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. So to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. To have, give all to all. That means start giving appreciation. And it's easy to give appreciation to people that you appreciate. So you want to surround yourself as much as you can with people you like, who you don't mind and you don't see it as a sacrifice to share with them and to be with them and to you know what I'm saying? Don't start with everybody that's the hardest people in the world for you to be with. Don't spend all your time trying to learn how to love the people you can't stand. That's the old paradigm.
Teaching is not fixing.
Teaching is the opposite of fixing. Teaching is demonstrating. Is that right? So you deserve love, and I'm going to demonstrate some peace with you by acknowledging you. Some gratitude. Would you give it up for you right now? Holy Spirit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I got one other thing I want to finish with, so just hang around for a second.
Oh my God.
And
It's on the cord or something?
There's a short.
You didn't touch nothing.
You're so electric.
that's right. I want to thank you for sharing with me. I teach full time and I do it on a love offering basis, a donation basis, so that everybody can come regardless of financial situation. So thank you for being challenged for the Holy Spirit. Thank you for your financial generosity. We'll pass this around. Also, I am available for one-on-one, personal one-on-one sessions, and so that whatever you think you're going through, there's another way that you could deal with that. So just get one of these orange papers, go to my website, earlpurdy.com. I take all my classes as a video and I put them on YouTube and I put them on my website. So I want you to say what? All that I give is given. Put some funk in it. All that I give is given. Now listen to this. The first step is to get rid of the concept of getting. Let go of the idea of getting. Give to myself. The loving mind's first lesson is to have appreciation. Give full appreciation to everyone. To have, give all to all. I say to have, give all to all. I say to have, give all to all. I say to have, some people like to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. Who will say it with me? To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. Say what? To have peace, teach peace, to learn it. Then tell yourself, I deserve miracles. I deserve miracles. I am entitled to miracles. Claim it for yourself. I am entitled to miracles. Ask for your healing and go, I am entitled to miracles. And remember that all that I give is given to myself. Wait, what? All that I give is given to myself. What? All that I give is given to myself. That I am juicy and sweet. I am juicy and sweet. Say, I am juicy and sweet. 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 I am so innocent. I am innocent. I am innocent. I am innocent. You are innocent. You are innocent. You are loved. You are loved. You are abundant. You deserve to be paid for having fun. You deserve to be paid for having fun. I am spirit. I am spirit. I am spirit. I am spirit. I am juicy and sweet. I am juicy and sweet. I am juicy and sweet. I'm claiming it for myself. myself. I'm going to demonstrate. I want joy, so I'm going to be joyful. I want to connect, so I'm going to connect. I want some fun, so I'm going to be fun. You got it? I appreciate y'all. Remember, may the course be with you. I appreciate you, Holy Spirits. Next class is 7 o'clock on Thursday night, right here. Next Sunday at 1. Our hugs are available.